What's up YouTube, Jimmy and Fernape here, and I'm going to do a video for you guys today about my favorite starters. I'm going to choose one from each generation that is going to be my favorite starters. These are all opinions. Try to get that zoom back, because yeah, I don't want you looking at my ugly ass face so much. I have a big plushie for each one. So I'm going to start with the Kalos starter, or actually I'll start with Kanto, because the first generation most people had. The starters consisted of Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, and Pikachu as the starters. You can debate Eevee. Pikachu's sort of debatable because it was only in yellow, but I'm going to go with my favorite of the starters, which, this is funny, I have always liked this starter. I freaking love all of its evolutionary line. It just so happens whenever I find a lot of the figures, where I buy a figure lot of the old school figures, I'll always seem to find its one of the evolutionary forms with it. And that one, I've had this pillow for years. Ironically, I got the Pikachu pillow when it came out. My mom got me and my brother both one, and he later on gave it to me because it stinks and I love my plushies. But I love this nonetheless, which is the Squirtle plush. It's my favorite Kanto starter. And in my opinion, it's best to get to Ice Beam really early in the game. Like, in the first game, you literally got it right at Celadon Marketplace by trading a, I'm probably going to get this wrong, but fresh water, I think it is. Either lemonade or the other one, soda pop. It's one of the three, I don't remember. But it's really good defensively, offensively, overall best. I'll be able to say I'm a huge Charizard fan. I'm a huge Venusaur fan. I like Charizard a lot. I just think it's overhyped. It's not thicker in battle, just being honest. Now let's get to the second gen, which was the Johto starters. For Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And this was interesting for me. I remember my brother always first chose Totodile, same with me. We first really loved Totodile. And then later on, he chose Totodile first. Later on, he switched to starter. He loves Chikorita. It's his favorite one. I like Chikorita too. I have a shiny one named Sparkle. No laughing, legitimately I named it. But there's one of the starters that was always my favorite designed. I'm always a big fan of the fire starters, but Cyndaquil, I want this is a knockoff one, by the way, just before anybody mentions, oh yeah, it's a fake plushie in my collection. It only cost like $2 to get this. I'll be flat out honest. But when I first got this, there wasn't really any legitimate Cyndaquil plushies, because the ones by then, when you got them, there wasn't that many sold for Gold, Silver, Crystal, Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, like anything from that generation, or Sinnoh. You rarely see it come up on the market. I'm just saying it as it is. And this is before Trainer's Choice, which I do have the Trainer's Choice over there. I love the Cyndaquil plushie. It's really nice. But yeah, that's my one for. And I always named it Cinder, and I had one other really stupid name as a kid, but it's quite funny now looking at it. Flammable. Now it's a dark joke calling this thing flammable because it lights itself on fire, but yeah, I don't care. Now it's time for the Holland starters, which contain Mudkip, Trico, or Torchic. I'll flat out say this is probably the first. It's hard to decide which ones I like of the first stages. My favorite of the whole evolutionary line, though. I'm gonna ruin this for a lot of people. If you guys don't know, Torchic's based off of cockfighting. That's where its whole entire evolutionary line comes from. Another cool thing is my favorite one. I really like Mudkip. I have both of them over on there. But I didn't choose them overall favorite because there's so many good water types in Hoenn. I'm not joking. There's like Gyarados, Tentacruel, Walrein, Sharpedo. You can all get those pretty early. There's Pelipper, there's Lantern, there's Gorbis, Huntail. There's so many good water types. That's why whenever I play the Hoenn games, I never choose Mudkip because I always find I'm tempted to use another water start. I always like using all the other water types more. Oh yeah, Wishcash, Barboach. But this one, I freaking love the design of Trico. I'm gonna say this is the trainer's choice one. I freaking love Trico's design. I love Grovyle. Not a big Sceptile fan, but I think it's the nicest of the three from Hoenn. I especially loved it in Mystery Dungeon. Grovyle was really well done, his character. Now let's get on to Sinnoh, which was Turtwig, Piplup, and, well, my name is Chimmy for aping this, so it's obvious it's going to be Chimchar. I'm just going to say it. But unlike a lot of the generations where there's always either one that's unanimously better in people's opinion, people loved, I'll just say it, Charizard, then there seems to be Typhlosion. It's overall, people love it, but people hate Chikorita, but they hate them. Hate Bulbasaur. A lot of people do not, just love Blaziken over all the other ones. There's not really a starter that's unanimously better, unanimously worse for the games. Everybody loved Piplup because of Dawn's Piplup in the anime. Turtwig was just a beast because even the rival of Sinnoh used Torterra, which was Paul, and Ash both had him. And then there was Infernape, which is my favorite Pokemon of all time. I have it tattooed on my back. And yeah, it's just self-explanatory with Chimchar. I just love its design. It's based off of Journey to the West, which is the same thing that Goku was based off of, if you don't know. So, in fact, Chimchar, I always name it Chimmy. And cool fun fact about me, Infernape was the very first Pokemon I ever got to level 100, and that was in Platinum. And I'm not considering the rare candies, because everybody used those to get their Pokemon level 100 back then. Now it's time for Unova, which was Snivy, Oshawott, and Tepig. It had another time where one of the starters was unanimously hated, which one that was unanimously hated was Emboar. I love Tepig's design, hate Pignites, and Emboar's, well, I fucking hate it. I'm just gonna say it out loud. I do not like Emboar's design at all. Just too slow to push everything. But, I love Oshawott. I love them. But I have to go with Snivy for that generation. Because it's interesting. It goes back and forth between that generation, Oshawott, Snivy. It depends on the day. Sorry. It really just depends on what day you talk to me. I love Salazar, the Snivy. Yes, I named my thing. It's a Harry Potter reference to Salazar Slytherin. Just thought I'd let you guys know. That's why I always name it Snivy. I'll actually physically. This is the only one else software set to get the mail. And then, yep. Because if you're saying, why don't I just name it Sally if it's Salazar? Sally's the name of my Solomon. It's a powerful name, just saying. And then the final group of starters was Froakie, Fennekin, and Chespin. Day one, Fennekin was my favorite. Then I ended up playing the second time around and ended up watching the anime. And then another starter, which was my least favorite at the time, grew on me extremely, which was Chespin. I'm just going to say I'll stop watching XY anime if they evolve Clement's Chespin, because it's the funniest character I've seen since Brock in the anime. No joke, it's just like so funny how much of a glutton it is. I love it. I have Chesper level 100 in my X version. I love it so much. And if you're wondering, I'm gonna say I don't like Greninja. I don't like Chestnut. I do not like Delphox. I do not like any of the Kalos starters. They're the forms. I find them just ugly. I know that they're designed to be like the typical RPG classes. I just don't like them. Saying how it is. So if you guys want to hear some other videos about like just me ranting on about Pokemon or which ones I like, which ones I don't like, feel free to comment below. Feel free to just tell me what you guys like. Oh yeah, and don't be like, oh, you're an idiot because I don't like this. You don't like that Pokemon. Hey, you're entitled to your own opinion, dudes. Do that, whatever. And just saying how I see them. And yeah, hope you guys like this video. Jimmy the Infernape signing out.